Here we are with another episode! I don't have a bit! I am just improvising!
I broke out of the city zoo again.
Damn it!
You can't keep me away!
Well, you know what? We can't keep you away from Saber. We can keep you away from the other two things we're talking about.
What's the... well, I know one's Zenkaiger. What's the other one?
Agito.
Damn it!
Cue the roll call.
We are live!
Zenkaiger!
Connect.
Loading.
Broadcast.
Tempered Zeal! Bluecaster, Super Ichi!
Loud and impulsive. Greycaster. Lace.
Spark of Courage, the Power of Dreams, Orange Caster, Global Salt Perka.
Broadcasting hundreds of opinions across the world!
Radio Sentai Castranger.
Welcome to Radio Sentai Castranger, episode 348. What is our Pokemon of the week? Somebody. Please?
Optimus Prime.
It's Optimus
What?
Prime.
Episode Armaldo.
Armaldo. Alright, cool.
He's got weird eyes because I didn't realize he had the eyes on the side of his a long time and it creeped me out.
I think that's a thing. Like Armaldo and Cradley, they're both designed around like really weird eye positions.
Yeah, I didn't realize where Cradley's eyes were when I was little.
Yeah.
Okay, bye, Basie-kun. Enjoy NASA.
Enjoy space.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hope you meet a lot of girls with NASA shirts.
Go photograph an Asari. Sorry, I've been playing a lot of Mass Effect lately.
Yeah, I'm on the Geth missions of Mass Effect 3.
All right.
Calm down there, Shatner.
All right. So first off, if you happen to be tuning into us for the first time, thank you for checking us out. We are a spacefaring squad of nerds who get together every week to talk about Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, and a third thing.
I'm a space bear.
Yes, we are welcomed by Bearcaster Vegas for the Saber discussion.
Space Bear.
Space bear.
Space Bear. All right.
Rawr.
So our topics of discussion for today are Kamen Rider Saber, episode 41, Zenkaiger, episode 17, and the first two episodes of Kamen Rider Agito, the 2001 Rider series.
Ooh.
Freaking love Agito. If I knew you guys were gonna do that, I would have probably done nothing.
You know how you could have known that? By listening to last week's show.
Ooh.
It was the first I ever saw.
I did, but when you got to the featured topic, I checked out because I had to sleep.
Oh.
See, the trick is, it's on YouTube and on Podbean, so you can resume watching it at your leisure.
Now I
Alright.
just have no excuse.
Right? We all knew that's where we were headed. Alright, let's get into Saber. Man, he is really fucking struggling to keep that voice up.
You finally got Tassel's backstory.
Yes, this was the backstory episode.
I'm sorry, but what caught me off guard was just when Toma was just walking, and then you just hear "Bon lecture," and I'm like,
Yeah. So I was doing stuff. I was looking after my cousin's dogs. I was just like letting them out, letting them in, and whatnot. So I just had my phone watching the episode like off to the side, and then I just hear "Bon lecture," and I look back. Toma walks past, and he's standing right there.
Who let you in?
He's just jump scaring you.
How did you get in here?
So I got the face of the week.
Mm-hmm.
So I got this pretty good May picture. Enjoying those noodles.
Yeah, they have a fucking summer festival, and they set up this fucking
flowing soba noodle. I mean, flowing somen noodles.
Yuri with the fishing pole fucking killed me.
I have always wanted to try that. It looks amazing. I remember I saw it on Nichijou. It just cold noodles going down a tube seems more fun than it has any right to.
It's
See,
weird.
it's gifts like that Decker showed that just makes me appreciate Yuri every time he's on screen.
This
Fucking
weird ass
hard, man.
noodle
Gets to
slide.
me. The part that gets me is when it shows Sophia actually trying to get some noodles at the very end.
Oh, she's trying to fit in. I'm like,
She's
"Aw."
trying to human.
Like they're actually trying to give her a couple of scenes.
Hmm. And then for some fucking reason, Kento fishes cherries out of it.
How the hell did that happen?
Yeah,
Right?
I don't know how that happened.
I saw a different future.
And Rintaro was trying to get it, he couldn't. Frickin' Daishinji tried, and he was getting like fed up.
It's because he got sniped by Ogami.
Sora was there too, so I was like, yeah,
Remember, the boy exists.
yeah.
It was nice to see him again.
And here's one thing that I question. They had this festival because they defeated the master. They didn't see him die. I mean, yes, they
Also,
saw his.
They know Storius is still alive.
Yeah, I mean, like they saw his book get destroyed, but so I guess they figure he's just not a threat anymore.
I guess
Also, to be fair, they did see him on fire.
That is not any sort of confirmation in shows like
No.
this.
I don't know. If I see someone who is lit on fire running away screaming, I
I mean, he wasn't
assume they're not
ready.
gonna make it.
Yeah, I don't know, but we see this confrontation between Disaster and Storius, who's trying his just absolute best to keep up that dark, scratchy voice. And so Storius is going on about how he's as expected. His bit is he just wants to experience a really exciting, amazing story, including the ending. So this is clearly leading to him wanting to destroy the world for the sake of a beautiful ending.
the endings are one of the most important parts of the story, is what he says, and then it's just like people's deaths.
Yeah. But Disaster decides he's not done having fun. So he pulls out the fucking Kyomu and henshins into Falcon,
Yep.
whatever.
Help came out of nowhere, and I was just like, "Wait a minute, where were you keeping that?"
I mean, we saw him yoink it last episode or the episode before that or something, so we knew he had it.
Yeah, Storius is so creepy now.
I'm surprised that wasn't the face of the week.
Yeah.
No, every
Where'd
time I
that-
see a silly May face like that, I have to take the
Like,
May
where'd the
face.
fucking claw thing come from?
Oh yeah, where did that come from?
Story is rated a hot topic.
Also, it like I get it, but like when we saw like the original first Master logo, so I was like, oh, it's just Isaac. I'm like, no.
I guess that's his dad, which explains why he looks like him, or it's literally just the same actor with his hair combed back.
Yeah.
For a second, I was like, is it the same guy? But then we were like, no, we know that there's been multiple. Although that apparently only two, because
Despite
Isaac was 1,000 years old. Yeah.
Also, I love that the best way to represent a bunch of people who eventually turn evil, showing that they're friends, is just make them laugh a lot.
Yeah, just hang out by the
We're
campfire.
friends.
Yeah, so let's get into this. So,
Wonderworld.
so apparently the story behind the 5 adventurers is Tassel, who apparently just had that long green hair as a normal human beforehand.
Also, the vegetation.
Yeah, he just had that look as a normal human being beforehand with no
It was just
explanation.
his style, I guess.
He apparently decided to wander the world because he was pondering where mankind receives divine revelations from. So he just wandered the earth and somehow, with complete non-explanation, just gathered up party members in the form of Legio, Zuos, Storius, and the original Master Logos. Just
I
because
like that they don't explain it.
they were all just a bunch of gents who were out to find the source of all fucking knowledge, I guess.
Like
No, I like to think that what it was is that like that was clearly Tassel's thing, but like as these guys met up, like they had their own hopes and dreams and whatever. But
it seems like
because it's Tassel's story, his search was like the forefront.
It almost comes off like a classic RPG where like the main character
Exactly.
is the only one who actually gets a story, and the others are just, well, I'll
Sort of
help
it.
you, for no reason. But
Tassel was a main character.
But we
You're
can
right.
see, from that one shot where you see Storius fucking giving the villain sneer that he's suddenly so good at, that he apparently was scheming behind everyone's back all along.
Well,
So,
if you
this
look
is what I wanted to talk about. So, first of all, the lady that links the worlds looks like Sophia.
Yeah, and we know that Sophia is supposedly a copy of Luna. So what I think happened is that is Luna's original form, and
Yep.
then over the period of time between then and the 15 years before the main event of the show, she for some reason got turned into a child. Maybe it's because she used to be
Respawned.
this like being of pure human knowledge, and then
Maybe
when
she
Wonderworld
didn't
was created, that was like her like distributing her
Yeah.
power.
use all her energy, so she reverted to a child form.
Yeah,
It's kind of like with Ultraman Nexus, because he
Hmm.
started off as Noah, and then like he used so much of his own power, he became a weaker version of himself.
but yeah, so it turns out that Wonderworld is just the physically manifested essence of all human knowledge, I guess.
Didn't they kind of say that in the first episode?
I don't know. They always just posit it as like some magical parallel world, and they never super explicitly went into what it was or why it was there.
Because like, I vaguely remember in the first episode they mentioned it's where
No, I think they were more focusing on the book that held all of human knowledge came from Wonderworld,
okay.
because it was the book itself that held all the knowledge. But now we know that it was the world itself that had all the knowledge, and the book just came from it.
So, what I want to talk about here is so Tassel says that Storius, Legiel, and Zeus were corrupted by power or whatever. I feel like that's not what happened because of course Storius was planning this all along. I don't think he was corrupted by shit. I think he was just a
This is what he intended.
That was always what he wanted to be.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
I was always saying that before that Storius probably like had like a control over Zeus and Legiel, and he just influenced them to see his view.
I don't know about that. I don't know if he influenced them. I think they were actually corrupted by power, and Storius was just like, yeah, fucking give me that shit. Who's been
But
messing up everything? It was Storius all along.
But so one thing I love about Saber is the lore, like the backstory.
Yeah, God knows there's enough of it.
Because first you got Tassel stuff, right? He was searching for the source of all knowledge. He met 3 assholes and a dude in a red bathrobe.
This seems like some sort of fable.
Well, you were talking about them being like an RPG party, but all I could think was, look at all of them and you can tell which one's the main character because he's the one with green hair.
Yeah, that's the Yu-Gi-Oh syndrome.
So, there's all that going on. There's also Yuri's story, which I feel like takes place after the Megiddo were created, and Tassel and the first Master Logos had to split what was left of the.
Yes, it was
Multiple
definitely
knowledge.
after, because the Swords of Light and Darkness were the first swords. They were created from Wonderworld, and Wonderworld was created by this backstory that happened. So Yuri's story definitely happened after this.
Well, yeah. what I mean is like because he mentions that after the Megiddo were created, like there was like chaos, there
Yeah.
was war, people were fighting. I imagine that was Yuri's time.
Hmm.
But yeah, like the lore is like super interesting when you actually like stop and take a look at it.
Speaking of lore and taking a look at it, now that we were sort of getting a much clearer look at the timeline of events, where the fuck did Yuri actually come from is the question.
Yeah, he seems to be a bit of an odd one out in terms of what's going on.
Because, like,
No.
it seems so much that he was someone who lived in / was from Wonderworld, but, like, there was no evidence of when they created Wonderworld, life came from it. It just seemed like this big, open, empty world. But, like,
think
Yuri is so alien to the ways of Earth that we thought, oh, he's just from Wonderworld. But now we don't have as much supporting that as we used to.
They should have just made Yuri one of the like original people. That would have made things easier.
what I think it is because we got that flashback of Yuri and
His buddy
the guy that what's his name?
Bakht.
Bakht. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
We got that backstory, and they're clearly on
Bok
Earth.
Bok. Oh yeah, Orb gave some info. So the origin of Wonderworld was 2,000 years ago, and the Sword of Light happened 1,000 years ago. I remember Yuri said that he turned himself into the Sword of Light 1,000 years ago.
But what I was gonna say is, I feel like Yuri was just a dude that showed up.
Maybe maybe life resembling humanity just started to like organically grow within Wonderworld after its creation.
As they say,
I don't think. I just don't think he's from Wonderworld. I think he's just from Earth, but he was from a time where, like, humans were fighting against the Megiddo.
Oh yeah, and then he like sealed himself inside of Avalon for 1,000 years after becoming the Sword of Light.
He never had time to be a person. He was always a soldier.
It's not just that. It's just the fact that he's out of his own time.
So I feel like Yuri was just a normal person who eventually like became a knight.
Yeah.
Like Bakht and the guy who I assume was using Kuroyami.
Yeah.
And then like Bakht went nuts. And
once again, I have to voice how disappointing it is that we have next to no information about this third dude who is supposedly the first Caliber.
Oh yeah.
You think he killed Bakht's family because he saw visions too?
I saw visions of a bad future, so I had to murder your family for reasons. That'll be Sword of Logos Part 3, I'm sure.
Oh, no. Here's what it is. Bakht was supposed to die, and his kid becomes Falchion.
Oh. I have to murder your children so they don't murder us.
So he murdered the kid and the wife.
Yeah.
And
So that way you can't have more evil children.
And then he made Falchion anyway.
Yeah.
And then he died. Like,
good job, dickhead!
Oh.
Really dodged the fucking sword on that one.
Dodged the sword.
I like that the Falchion, like the disaster Storius fight, literally had no purpose other than, oh, the other main riders are fighting, so we need a fight sequence in this episode.
Yeah, the other riders are busy getting exposition, so we're gonna fight because we don't like each other anymore. I will say, having seen Disaster use his Calamity Strike as Falchion was pretty fucking badass. The wings.
He got Kuroyami after the third guy died, and he used it against Bakht.
Yeah. Let's see, what else was in this episode? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, while Disaster and Storius are fighting, I love that Storius is like, you are one of my creations, so I will destroy you by my own hand. And immediately he summons Charybdis to fight Disaster.
That is definitely his own hand, then.
Alright.
My God, I'll take you out of it!
I did like that Disaster tried to, like, defeat him with, like, a Hisatsu, and he didn't go, and Disaster just like, this is gonna take a while.
Yep, because Charybdis
Seeing
respawns just like him.
Seeing this ass as a comic was really jarring.
I feel this
I've
feels
been
like
waiting for it.
this feels like a one-off. I don't think we're gonna see that again, especially since he ended the fight by literally yeeting Kiyomu at Charybdis and then bailing.
Okay, so I saw the preview for the next episode. He has the sword.
Oh,
All
right. I guess he just yoinked it fucking back somehow.
Also, in the preview for next week's episode, I don't know why this fucking made me giggle so hard, but just we saw what it looked like was Tassel getting stabbed.
Yep.
So you just see his face like and I couldn't help but laugh because it was super funny.
I can't wait to see what kind of book comes out of Tassel.
He's just gonna bleed paper like Waz.
I don't want Tassel to get stabbed.
He's gonna. Tassel's
me
getting.
neither. Tassel's great.
I don't want anyone to get stabbed.
Tassel's getting hassled.
It's a show about swordsmen, so people getting stabbed is probably.
Look at Disaster stabbing fucking Charybdis here.
That's not a stab. He fucking strike rated him.
He yeeted the sword at him.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that the Falchian Hesots didn't kill Charybdis, but him just throwing the sword at him killed him permanently.
So while this is all happening, Tassel is giving the fucking backstory to Toma and friends and telling him how if you go meet with Luna, you get the power of Wonderworld, but you disappear from Earth. But if you don't, you never see her again. And I'm like, why is that the ultimatum? What's happening?
They said that Tassel's astral projecting himself almost.
And then
because May's like, but you're here, aren't you? And goes to pat him on the shoulder.
No, I'm not.
And then Toma gives the most protagonist answer ever. I want to be with Luna and be with my friends.
I hope to God
this comes up.
I'm actually going to pray that this is like a Gaim situation where it's like the power of hope will save me and my friends. It's like, oh no, that's not gonna happen. You're fucked either way.
This comes off to me like one of those endgame ultimatums from a lot of well-written video games, like Mass Effect, honestly, where you're given the choice of you have to sacrifice one thing or the other, and then because Toma has enough good boy points, he will unlock the secret ending where everyone survives.
Yeah, take a third option.
He will create the secret ending.
The extended cut, if you will.
Where he takes the sword and hits the kid with it.
Oh yeah, the refusal ending. And then you just turn to Tassel and he's just all, so be it. Oh my god, I've been playing way too much fucking Mass Effect.
You have.
And speaking of Charybdis, it straight up launches the fucking barrier between worlds somehow, and then because it fought with Disaster, it gets one arm to be super fucking buff, and then it uses Disaster's Falchian Calamity Strike against them.
Because he ate half of Disaster.
Yeah, he
what
fucking
about the book where it zooms in and it's just
fucking
bloodstream blood.
He fucking launched Disaster's fucking limbs off. That was weird.
Might as well just paint him yellow, call him Pac-Man.
You watch. They already did a fucking Pac-Man tie-in item. They'll do it again.
They did actual official Pac-Man, right?
Yeah, the Pac-Man Gashet. So yeah, Saber comes in with Crimson Saber. Again, not doing the full tension chime for that form, so I know there's a lot of pissed people. And then he does this cool thing where he lets Slash and Buster dual wield their own weapons. That was pretty rad.
Oh no! So I love someone when we first saw shots of that. Freaking someone was like, "Oh look, freaking Buster's using the actual prop sword and the flimsy stunt sword." I did like seeing Slash use like his sword in both sword and gun mode. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was the way to do it. If he hadn't done it, I would have complained about not doing that.
But I would have loved to have seen him use Bremen no Rock Band and just used both of them in gun mode and just went like,
oh yeah, just fucking
God, that
like a
would've been
shooting
too-
spree. That would have been
been
awesome.
Amazing.
yeah.
Maybe too much.
No, nothing's too much with Bremen no Rock Band Slash.
We haven't seen that in so long.
I miss it.
So one other thing that was happening, Ren was waiting for Disaster to show up,
Well,
Yeah.
he's buddies with him now, so.
and then like Disaster kind of realized, oh, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, we see that his book is broken, so I think he can't respawn anymore.
Uh-oh.
So he's like he's trying because he knows that Ren wants to be the strongest. So he's essentially saying, "Fight me with everything you got, or you're gonna die."
1v1 me, no items, final destination.
Disaster's reaching his epilogue.
Volume
Oh,
1 only.
one volume one.
Secret ending. Final disaster chapter.
But
Yeah.
he's trying to like fast track Ren into being strong, at least stronger than him.
Yeah. Cue disaster parody of "Stronger Than You" from Steven Universe.
Oh,
I love that song.
we already had the Undertale parody being over the original in views.
And then there was a Sonic parody of the Sans parody. Faster Than You.
Oh yeah,
And someone mixed stronger than you with that Daft Punk song.
harder, better, faster, stronger than you.
Yes.
Nice. So yeah, next week is gonna be about Wonderworld consuming reality or some shit. Saber fights Disaster and Tassel gets stabbed.
No.
Tassel gets hassled.
I'm pretty sure where this is going is Tassel's gonna be the last book that Astorius needs.
And then he'll get his
form.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Tassel's probably gonna die.
Yeah.
As much as I don't want him to, because he has been a source of entertainment since
I
episode
just
1.
want his to like Tomo holding him in his arms, and he's just like, "Bon lecture."
Oh God.
Yes.
Emily's just like, "No."
I'm kind of sad that like when he started telling them the story that he didn't open
Yeah,
with
but-
"Bon lecture."
I think what needs to happen is like the 5 original people who like discovered Wonderworld or whatever the fuck happened. Like they need to be gone. They need to be erased from existence because
Well, I thought
just, like
you were
they've been such a problem.
I thought you were gonna say the opposite. I thought you were gonna say they need to be gods.
No.
Well, technically, Tassel is a god.
They all tried to be gods, and look what happened to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't work out.
Yeah,
The
but
only one who
no,
tried to be a
no.
god was
Another lesson to be learned from Kamen Rider Saber. Don't try to achieve godhood. It's not gonna go your way. It's not gonna
I
end
think
well
that's
for
a
you.
lesson for like every Kamen Rider.
Look at
Yeah,
Dan. Look
from
at
a
Dan
lot of
Kuroto.
different things, like-
God, Dan Kuroto is like the prime example of why you do not try to achieve godhood.
I don't know. I think he.
more than a god just by existing.
I
so-
actually think Dan Kuroto, now that I think about it, pulled it off pretty well.
I will say though, if there was one person I was happy to kick Dan Kuroto's ass to Kingdom Come, it was Laser, because yeah,
I mean, let's be honest.
Christmas we'll never forget.
Yeah, exactly. If anyone had a reason to kick his ass, it was him.
Yeah.
And a nice laser suit as well.
Yeah.
But I feel like the only one who did not have a bad ending from trying to achieve godhood was the first Master Logos, because all he did was just make an organization.
No, you know what? It was weird. It was that same actor, and he was still like he was like talking nicely and stuff like that. I was I still don't fucking trust you. You're not the same Logos, but I still don't fucking trust you.
I love how they tried to pass it off as being a different character just by combing his hair back and making him smile bigger.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Making him have a happy, non-creepy smile.
No, it's still creepy. It's
No.
still creepy.
It will always be creepy.
Yeah.
Always be creepy.
All right, Lane, take us in.
Creep in my throat.
Change to Zenkai. Vegas, thanks for tuning in with us.
And that's my cue to leave. So
So
Why-
this
why did
episode.
everyone get quiet?
Oh, hold on. There we go. It was because I was playing the Zenkaiger bumper. You're ruining the magic. Okay. This episode, I don't know who the fuck wrote this episode, but they were fucking genius because literally the exact moment that I was starting to think, man, this episode's boring, they hit Zeron with a fucking truck.
No. The best thing that fucking killed me was him getting hit by the truck, but then landing in that fucking water.
Yeah, that whole scene.
Killed me.
That whole scene, I had to watch it like 7 times, and I just the fucking scream. It's just like ah.
Boom.
We got our Invisible Man themed monster this week.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
no, he was clearly based off the Invisible Man.
Yep.
Yep. And also Majin being kind of scary.
Oh my god, the fucking occult bit with their fucking roll call, and then when
And then
Zeron
just
does the roll,
Cameron nails in just curse.
she used curse attack. It was super effective.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking was in the animation in Pokemon, but I know
Yeah.
it's based on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like I do not know who was behind the special effects for like this episode, but they fucking nailed every shot. Like they
Nail.
did the whole joke with him being invisible. They even got when like you see like them like cranking their Gearderlingers, you can see like the little light that comes off their Gearderlinger where
Yeah.
Jiren's supposed to be standing, and I was
Yep.
like, God damn, like fuck.
Yep. Oh yeah, they
So
had a
good.
fucking the occult team had their own CGI roll call.
Yeah,
They did
no,
have their own call.
I thought it was absolutely adorable that Majine like hunts for ghosts and like supernatural things with like these kids, and I was like, oh.
They're like Mystery Inc.
Yep.
So, but like it's cute. So like they find out that there's like a ghost at their school, whatever, like that, and so then like Majina is like, oh, I'll go with you. Like we'll look at the ghost and stuff like that, and then like they find out like possibly the Toji Tendo's behind it because of the visibility. So then they're like, nah. Like Zuren's just like, well, how about I just pretend to be the ghost and we actually like make them have a good time? And like Gia's like, yeah, like that'll be awesome.
The payoff at the end of the episode was so amazing because after all this bullshit, it actually turned out there really was a ghost.
And it was just a floating plastic skeleton.
Awesome.
Let's have a fun time.
Did you notice that when they were heading out of the shop, they were like, Shupat Shunko?
No, but I know this was probably the suburbs, but Jiren's just like, there's something strange in the neighborhood. Who are you gonna call? I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Damn you, overtime.
Well, I mean, Ghostbusters references aren't that weird in Japan, considering there was an entire Yokai Watch sub game series based on it.
Really?
Yokai Watch Blasters is Yokai Watch Busters in Japan. They actually had to redo the art because it was so obviously Ghostbusters, including the Wispmellow Man.
Wow.
Whisper as the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. They changed him into being whipped cream themed in the dub. You can even look at it like they clearly have proton packs in the original art, but they changed it so that they no longer look like Ghostbusters here.
But so yeah,
Sorry for that random tangent.
So it's okay. So the bit is that the invisible world or the Tomei world is turning shit invisible. And I have to say, this might sound mean, but I actually laughed out loud when Flint just fucking bites it in the middle of the street.
Also, I hope Decker can get this shot for me, like as a GIF. I thought it was so adorable and awesome, where like you see Zox like he's doing his like henshin or whatever, like dance or whatever, and you just see Flint doing it with them, and I was like, oh, that's so cool.
That was kind of adorable, even though I don't like them.
Yo-ho!
Oh, and Majine is just a treat this whole episode. When she finds out it's not really a ghost, she just gets pissed.
Yeah, no, she like storms off fucking dark aura, red eyes, and I'm like, oh.
And then she has this
Yes,
occult,
grim dark Majine.
this fucking cursed power roll call. That was intense.
Oh, it's so good. But yeah, just not seeing Zuran in like, because basically all it was just the special effects shot, but just
Without the
just
suit.
don't have Zuran's suit in there. So I thought it was so good.
I have to give this show props. They find such creative things to fuck around with the henchmen roll call throughout this whole show. It's super
Yeah,
creative.
no, it's great. Like it's like with Kara Major with their roll calls. They were really interesting.
But yeah, even what there's some wallpaper for you.
Yeah,
And I love, like, at the end of his, he's like, "Wait, can we do this? Can we get away with this? Is this legal?"
Huh. Oh man, no, but this episode was just fun as hell. I enjoyed every second of it.
I was not really feeling it the first half of it because I'm like, haha, invisible, I get it. But then the moment happens where Zeron just gets fucking launched by that truck, just got me so hard that it just made up for whatever else.
Yeah, and then like what was his name? Like Babawas or whatever?
Who?
Or Babawasu? The giant wall.
Oh, Bokowaus.
Bokawaus, thank you. Like I love that like Gege or whatever is just like freaking like, oh, don't worry. Like
This time we're just having some fun.
He's like, you're right. Oh, I gotta trust you more. And just like Ijirude and the other guy's just like, oh my god, the bird's annoying, but he's keeping him off our backs. So
Yeah.
And then like, do you know what? You know what's weird with like how Stacy's been lately? And I wonder if you guys will agree with me on this. I'm kind of getting like Kylo Ren vibes off of him.
He's just like spinning like activating a gear. More!
Hey, wow, that Gearlinger is really stupid looking. It's like a child, man. What are you doing to look at it?
He's like undercover boss Kylo Ren.
Hi, I'm Satoshi. we knew it was you from this. I knew it was from Hi, I'm Satoshi.
I'm a candy technician.
Haven't had my ice cream yet, Satoshi.
Oh my god.
I also
I see what's in your Sentai, and it is stupid.
I also really like the fucking Sun Vulcan puns.
Yes.
They use the Sun Vulcan gear and they do a fucking blitzball attack or whatever the fuck. And then when one of them gets hit, he's just like, Itaio Sentai! And it's the joke because Sun Vulcan is Taiyo Sentai and Itaio means it hurts.
Also, I think I heard Juran say chase the sun. Or
No, it was
the
Vroom. At one point, Vroom just goes, follow the sun!
Yeah.
When Vroomagine is flying around.
No.
Oh, and the bit where fucking the red half of Zero Gallon goes invisible, so they just have the yellow half of the Megazord toy just waggling around. And you see Kaito's cockpit hanging out.
Yeah, and then Kaido had to switch over to the other mech just so he'd be covered, and then they had the advantage because they could fly.
That was so fucking good.
Yeah. But yeah, no, this episode was just like a shit ton of fun. I really hope the show just keeps up this level of like creativity and humor and like good shots like this. Like, oh man.
Really fun.
I feel like next week's gonna be good because it's the one where everyone falls in love with everyone.
Oh, I just like I saw like the hearts on like planted on their visors.
Yeah.
Yeah, this.
Oh,
the fucking
no!
Zenkaiger in a suit. It's so good.
Oh my god.
I love it.
That looks like something Shepard would do.
Oh, if I could do the Citadel DLC, like I won't tell you the scene, but like there you dress up fancy. I would have loved to just him in the death mask. That would have been great.
I bet you the PC version you could mod it.
Oh. but yeah, just like this is definitely one of the best episodes we've gotten.
I think other it's not as funny as some other ones but this one's definitely up there.
Just Surin landing in that water fucking killed me. And then like there's like a bunch of people in the park and he keeps
he like interrupts a robot couple.
Oh yeah, that shot of fucking Socks in the preview getting slapped.
Oh yeah.
and Vroom falls in love apparently. Yeah, bam.
Oh god.
Oh. Anyways, so let's get on to our feature topic.
Alrighty. Get on!
Yeah, you can't go wrong with the Kamen Rider Agito theme song. It slaps,
really
man.
I did not realize early Kamen Rider I've heard it was brutal, but just in these 2 episodes we have people dying left and right. We have corpses everywhere.
So
I was just gonna say I was nowhere near ready enough to become re-addicted to Agito's amazing music.
Oh yeah.
For opening song, it was just like what you imagine when you imagine like a Toku opening is basically like that.
So this week's feature topic, we were talking about the first 2 episodes of Kamen Rider Agito. So it is the second Heisei Rider series from 2001. It was supposed to kind of be like a sequel to Kuga, like a successor to Kuga, but like it kind of eventually just became its own unique thing.
They mentioned they mentioned Kuga briefly in that G3 was designed after Ultimate Life Form number 4, aka Mikakunin Semetai Dayongo. And they also comment how Agito looks very much like Kuga. And then after that, they're pretty much Kuga's never mentioned again.
So I guess I'll because Gar's not here to talk about this, but he gave us some like facts about Agito, so I guess I'll just mention them. So Agito was the season that commentated Kamen Rider's 30th anniversary. It was also the first Kamen Rider to introduce the concept of multiple riders. It was also meant to be the end of Kamen Rider as well, and much to like how Tiga was an inspiration to Kuga, Toei did the same again via having the next season be a sequel to Kuga, though aside from one name drop of Kuga's alias as Life Form number 4, Agito is treated as its own installment. It would also be the last Kamen Rider theme song to incorporate the show title into its song.
There have been other Rider series that say like the name of the Rider, like 010101 and Forze and whatever.
They don't say Kamen Rider 01.
They don't say the full Rider name.
Yeah, also Agito marked the start of Seiji Takaiwa's suit acting career for the Heisei era.
Cool.
Yeah, so this was his first Rider suit acting deal.
I will say, from what I remember of this entire show, this is one of the better shows if you like an ongoing mystery.
Oh man, the fucking just the tension and the atmosphere and the mystery throughout this show was just so good. Like I have a big like thing with the show because like I watched this back in like 2011, so this would have been like around when Agito's like 10th anniversary. But like I was getting my wisdom teeth pulled out, and so I knew I was going to be like out of commission for like 4 to 5 days. So I just needed something to watch, and so I went up to Ichi like and just said like, "Hey, do you have anything I can watch when I like after I get my wisdom teeth pulled out?" And he was like, "Oh, I got all of Agito," and I was just like, "I haven't watched Agito yet."
Cool.
So I dummied all of Agito in like 4 days, and I watched it nonstop, and I got hooked. It was just so good.
That's a cool story.
And my story is, I once went with my family to a cottage far out of town for a vacation weekend, and I marathoned the entire show in 2 days.
This is the first I've ever watched.
But yeah, so this is not like your current Rider series. Like this has death. This has like people getting fucked up, mystery.
You said that someone gets drowned from the inside at some point?
So the monsters of the series are called the Unknown, and then because they mention that like they're called that because we don't know anything about them.
They have another name, but you find that out later.
Yeah. But yeah, so they have a pretty fucked up way of killing people. So like the first thing we see in the show is they stuff people into trees.
Well,
Yeah.
as we see from the third murder, they just snap someone's neck and then deposit them into a tree to die.
Yeah. But then later on we see other deaths like they like set them on fire so they just spontaneously combust, and then they drown them from the inside.
Like you're
And
drowning even though you're not underwater. Like just
Yeah, it's
out
really
outside.
That is genuinely positively terrifying.
If you
Yeah,
are
no,
looking
it's-
for brutal, bizarre, and weirdly interesting deaths in your tokusatsu, this is the show to go to.
Mm-hmm.
They're all so weird and so interesting.
Like Saw style and murder investigations.
Yeah, so I love how that we start the show because like we get to see my favorite character in the series, Hikawa. So he's a cop that works for Saul, and he's the main frontline guy for Kamen Rider G3.
Let's talk about that real quick for a sec. I can't stop laughing at the fact that their organization is Saul! Kamen Rider Saul! Saul Riderman!
Isn't it Soul like Sun, like SOL? Or...
It's SAUL, which stands for
what, like Better Call Saul?
Squad Against Unidentified Life Forms, because they were created to fight the Grongi, even though the Grongi haven't been around for 2 years.
Yeah, so if you look at Kuga and G3 like side by side, like G3's meant to be like a man-made version of Kuga.
It's Cyber Kuga.
Basically, and like
Not like a whole like diagnostic system on him, like so you can see what parts of him have been damaged. And
yeah, so
I love that because it almost made him feel like a fucking Metabot. Because they're like,
Kinda.
oh no, the chest piece is damaged, ejecting metal.
So I'm gonna get into this now, just so it's done and over with. Kamen Rider G3, he's my favorite rider in this show, but he's actually like one of my favorite riders of all time, just because like he's man-made. Like he doesn't really have like a henshin sequence. He actually has to like put his armor on and like get like set up, and he's technically a cop Kamen Rider.
Yeah,
So,
he was transferred from a police department into this Saul agency, and his henshin sequence is literally him going into the truck and putting on the armor piece by piece.
Yeah, so like it's really cool. Like I even like the effect that they have where like they put the helmet on him, and then like you see it like close over his head, and then like he always does like the helmet adjust, but when like before he's about to go out. And yeah, he's got like these two characters who are like kind of his handlers. And I just like that they have like this whole computer system that like, you know, keeps like eyes on his like vitals and like his armor stats, like what his condition of his suit, and they have like cameras in the suit so they can keep an eye on everything that's going on.
It's Kamen Rider Iron Man.
It kind of reminds me of Tiger and Bunny too.
Yeah, that too. Like, he's got this sick ass fucking pistol, which like we see him like testing it, like firing it, and it's really cool. And then like we episode 2, he gets like a buzzsaw weapon, which is really sweet. But,
and there are others. There are several other weapons.
And later on, he actually gets an upgrade, Kamen Rider G3X, and it's even a cooler suit. It's bulkier. It's got more fucking stuff. He's got a minigun, and just it's everything. Everything about G3 is just so fucking cool.
Yeah,
and yeah. And also, like, the man behind the suit, like Hikawa, he's also, like, a really, really nice dude, very, and he's very dedicated to what he believes in and wants to get the job done, and he's just a really cool guy.
The phrase that always comes to my brain is, he's the lovable dork.
Yeah, because he's very oblivious to some shit, so...
Especially when it comes to figuring out who Agito is.
Yeah, so then there's our main character, Shoichi. So
Shoichi-kun! Shoichi-kun! Get used to that!
Oh yeah, so Shoichi, he has amnesia, and he doesn't remember who he is.
So yeah, that is one of the key elements of the ongoing mystery of the show.
Yeah, and he's very good at cooking. He's good at growing big ass vegetables.
And he's freeloading off of a professor and his daughter or
A
relative.
niece, I think.
Yeah,
like
niece.
he was like, it's like, oh, like your father's his brother, and she was like, oh, not related, but
Yeah.
blood, and I was like, what?
But and anyone with a keen eye might notice that Mana's actress is familiar. She would go on to play now Naomi in Den-O.
Yes.
That's Rina Akiyama, aka Oshirina. She was voted best ass at one point.
In
What?
2007.
Yeah.
No, she got the top vote and reward for having the best looking ass in 2007.
That's the
I
thing.
mean, you could tell because in Den-O she wore really, really tight pants.
Yeah, they gave her tight leather pants in Den-O.
But I just remember watching Agito because I watched Den-O before, and I saw her, and for like 5-10 episodes, I'm like, she looks fucking familiar. Where have I seen her? And then I looked up her actor, and I was like, oh my god.
Yep.
Naomi.
Yep.
Ichi, would you like to explain who also our third character is?
So, Akiyama Ryo is probably my favorite character in this show. It doesn't happen in these episodes, but he goes on to become Kamen Rider Gills. And he is fucking savage.
Yeah, so like Gills is like the failed Agito.
Well, let's not get too far into the mystery, because I think people should watch it if they haven't.
Yeah.
But the idea is the three riders here are all different contrasting motifs. Agito is powered by magic, G3 is powered by technology, and Gills is clearly a biological kind of rider. So there's a very well-established juxtaposition between the three of them that I really enjoy. Oh yeah,
Gills is an angry boy.
The best part of Gills is his fucking mouth opens when he gets angry. That's rad.
Yeah, it's this really cool rider kick where he like freaking like has like the spike on like on his heel of his boot, and he like just like drags it into your fucking shoulder and then just like flips off of you and then you explode.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Mana, I love that one line where she's like trying to help him figure out his lost memories, and she's like, "Maybe you're secretly rich. If you're rich, you can marry me." Like, all right.
And then like Shoichi kind of like makes her back off, being like, "Maybe I'm a serial killer. You don't know." Also, we get introduced to our lovable favorite asshole, Hojo.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
I love it. He starts in these episodes, he basically calls Hikawa a liar.
Yeah, like he's like, well, we obviously you didn't kill, the murderer isn't killed because he killed again. And I'm just like, did you ever think possibly there's more than one killer?
You're just making shit up so your department doesn't get dissolved.
I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, and
you haven't seen the last of this fucking guy, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, he actually does some pretty cool shit later.
He does.
Let's just say he and Hikawa have an interesting rivalry.
Yeah, like Hojo's supposed to be like the opposite of Ichijo from Kuga.
Yeah, it's Ichi-no.
Yeah, exactly. There's Ichibro and Ichi-no.
Yeah. Let's see what else. So yeah, episode 1 ends with G3 trying to fight the first unknown, biting ass at it because those weapons were tuned to fight Grongi, and these are not Grongi. And then Agito comes in and just kicks the monster and kills it immediately. To the tune of one of the most amazing battle songs.
Yeah, Believe Yourself.
Atsuku Naru Karada Kokoro.
I actually forgot in episode 2 he goes Storm.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they're already just immediately being like, yeah, he form changes, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just like I like G3 didn't really have the best introduction in the start of this show, but it shows that, you know, it's a system that they designed for a totally different purpose, and then it didn't end up working out. But he gets better over time.
Yeah, the improvement of the
actually see
G3
him kill
system is a part of
when
the
he's-
show.
Yeah, when you eventually see him kill his first unknown, you kind of cheer for him. You're like, yeah, good job, Ikawa. Good for you, man.
So the first episode doesn't have an opening, but the second episode is the first time that we get to see the Agito opening theme, and
That really cool theme song.
it's good.
Mm.
It's
Oh yeah. It's sung by the guy who did the Go-Go 5 theme song.
nice.
So if you like the Go-Go 5 theme song, you will love the Kamen Rider Agito theme song.
Yeah. I just love that one scene in episode 2 where like they're talking about Shoichi's cooking and how he never uses salt or whatever, and then just out of nowhere they drop, maybe you secretly have diabetes. Oh, all right.
And you just see him like crouching down, being more sad, and like freaking Han is just like, don't say that. Like he'll believe whatever you say.
Yep. And over these episodes, we see that Shoichi and Ryo both have basically spider sense. They can tell when the unknowns are attacking, even though they haven't quite made sense of that yet.
Yeah, because like Ryo's like a famous swimmer, but like he got into an accident. But like you see like the flashback of him like getting into the accident, and like clearly he's driving right towards that truck. Like he was on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah. I will say that even though that scene was a little tough to comprehend fully, his story later on gets really fucking sad.
Oh, it's so sad. And when you find out more of like the actual origins about like everyone's deal, it's like oh.
Oh.
Yeah, so like it just like there's not much more to say like from the 2 episodes we watched, because like it's just like we don't want to spoil anything because it's such a good mystery.
Yes, if
So,
you like
like-
ongoing mysteries, and it's a really good show. It's
Like Raven, if Raven was here, he would like praise this show to the fucking top of the mountains, because like Kuga's his favorite rider, but Agito is his favorite series.
yeah.
So, because like Agito did better of what Kuga was trying to do.
Yeah.
So
It just goes to show that you can't really base a good story with just one rider.
yeah, and like it's great seeing these 3 eventually all work together and stuff, and it's just like as the mystery unravels, you get like
Yeah.
it's one of these shows that just like really like draws you in.
Yeah.
You
There are a lot-
you can't stop watching it.
There are a lot of moments of them not only working together, but also fighting each other, as you might expect from any Kamen Rider, and it's really well paced and satisfying.
Yeah, so like if you're gonna watch this show, binge it.
Yeah.
Like, fucking take a couple days and just binge it in one go.
Well, you
Like-
said like this was the first one with multiple riders, right?
Yes.
So I guess it's interesting to see their dynamics.
Yes.
Oh yeah, because they're all like 3 completely different people, but like they all share the same purpose, kinda. So
Defeating the unknown.
yeah,
And solving their
Also
own personal mysteries.
I won't say what it is, but the final villain of this series, whoo, it's a doozy.
Yeah. Even saying it would be a spoiler, but there's one joke that people who've watched the show.
hmm But anyways, yeah, go watch Agito. Can't say that enough.
Yeah. Alright, and that is Castranger.
Yep.
Cool.
Alright, so Kikai, Rino Sentai Castranger. Seeing as we are continuing along the trend of early Heisei shows, next week we'll be looking at our schedule, Kamen Rider Ryuki.
Oh boy! Well, I won't be here next week because I'm going away for a birthday weekend. So
And I don't even care
darn, I get to miss Ryuki. Oh
and
well.
I don't even care that you probably made that up to get out of Ryuki.
Do you
No,
really?
actually, I'm going away.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright, so thank you all once again, everybody, for listening, watching, liking, favoriting, sharing, subscribing, hitting the bell, and being awesome. As usual, the primary source of our hijinks is castranger.podbean.com. From there you can find all of our things, you know what it is. Well, you can, and if you don't, you can go there and find out. Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, merch, Discord, all the fun shit.
Yep.
Alright, thank you once again, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thank you
Bye.
for listening, everyone.